question of diverse sexualities is pretty explosive material. One of the focuses on today, and coming from my own work, is what might come from creative writings, what literary worldings might mean for a reimagination of Caribbean sexualities.
I'm really pleased to welcome you to this evening's reading. Many of us have been here for the whole afternoon, have enjoyed various provocative, in many different ways, talks. But tonight we've got the pleasures of Bernardine Evaristo and Lawrence Scott coming to read to us. We'll begin with Bernardine, who I'll introduce to you now. She's the author of 7 books. Her latest, Mr. Loverman, was published by Penguin in August of this year. Her writing, as many of you may know, refuses to be contained by the categories we often use to make sense of literature. So she mixes prose and verse, fiction and history. She challenges the myths of Afro-diasporic identities, and she boldly rewrites the stories that we tell ourselves about the world.
I know my artology too. Miro, Monet, Manet, Man Ray, Matisse, Michelangelo, Murillo, Modigliani, Morandi, Munch, Moore and Mondrian, not to mention the rest of the alphabet. I even dragged Morris to that controversial Sensation exhibition at the Royal Academy in 1997 to see Emin's Slutty Bet, or Philly's Elephant Dung, Hearst's Pickled Shark and Quinn's Bloody Head. Morris scoffed, "I can do better than that." To which I replied, "It might be more concept than craft, Morris, but art would be boring if people still only painted buff male bodies with rock-hard buttocks, juicy lips, and dangling protuberances in the style of the Renaissance. Although, come to think of it, perhaps not." Morris's final word on the matter: "In that case, I'm going piss in a bucket and exhibit his art with a capital A."
So I suppose what it does is takes issue with the word queer. Not because I want to make some kind of anti-queer kind of platform, but more that I want to suggest that maybe revitalizing what I'm calling a creolizing hermeneutics, a kind of way of reading for the creolizing potential, is what I'm trying to think about.
On the surface, Gorillas offers an equally damning treatment of same-sex desire, albeit filtered this time through the viewpoint of the exoticized other rather than the white interloper.
Lawrence is a prize-winning Caribbean novelist and short story writer from Trinidad and Tobago.
He's not a child no more, girl. Come, time to have your own children. He heard the disappointment of the mother for her daughter not getting married and giving her some grandchildren, now that she could with dignity and solemnity. And you must stop this nonsense with Jazzy. That's Michel Jean. He gone, child, and good thing too. Let things take their natural course, is what I say. None of that commerce all you get yourself into. So long a tell-all you is against nature, child. Mama, what you talking about? It's so long now, Jazzy, and I fixed up with business. What you know is what you're doing upstairs there. You think I don't know what's going on? Mama, nothing going on. Anyway, so why you don't fix yourself up with one of them fellas that calling for you?
We see this later on when Calamity encounters the sea mother of Agwe/Chichi, and she wails when she discovers that her these little scales on the child's inner legs, which allow it to swim properly, have been removed. And so, in a very nuanced way, Hopkinson replays the image of the erotic, maternal Marian figure within a queer Caribbean context, destabilizing knowledge about identity, and also challenging Calamity to rethink her own role as a maternal figure. Thus, I would argue that Hopkinson definitely evokes images of the sacrificial, sacred ecologies of the planet. There's a much wider critique of global capitalism, which I can't go into.
Obviously, given the urgency of these questions around discrimination and equal access to justice and constitutional recognition and citizenship, a lot of the questions around diversity kind of link into those issues, and therefore there has been this necessary focus on contesting homophobia, both politically, legally, culturally and theoretically. And there's been some, lots of really interesting work done on that. And another kind of open access resource that I would point everyone to is the IRN's Caribbean Homophobias project, which you can access online. And I guess that this kind of work has developed to show us how cultural productions and expressive culture can actually work in tandem with those legal, political projects.